So you've just finished the design on your website. What is the logical next thing to do? Well, of course, you're probably going to just start writing content, right? Well, maybe, but maybe not so fast. Because even though you want to start writing content right away, my friend Maggie and I would argue pause a little bit. There's some things you need to do before you start writing that content. I'm so excited today to be joined by my good friend and colleague, Maggy Sterner, who is going to who are going to have a chat about this very topic. Maggie, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Maggy Sterner, and I am a brand messaging coach. What is that even? I made that up. I help entrepreneurs and small business owners find one sentence to answer the question, what do you do? So they can attract clients and make the monies. My number one job is teaching people how to communicate clearly and concisely, short and sweet, about what they offer and how they help their ideal audience so that their marketing is clear. That's my job description. That's my elevator pitch. And I say it clearly and directly, and that's what I teach my people how to do. I believe one sentence is the foundation for all of your marketing, for your whole business, and whether you're marketing online or out loud.
Awesome.
Ta-da.
So, Maggie, let's go back to where I started this discussion, which is you're starting on you finished your design, you're working on a website, and it's time to work on the content. So what we're saying is, hey, slow down. Before you start looking at your cursor blinking on the screen, there's some things that you should do to prepare yourself to get, let's say, in the right frame of reference to be able to write that content that's truly going to be reflective of your organization. So let's talk about what is that work? What is that work that you're going to do to get you there?
The number one first thing, I'm not excluded. I have to do the same work y'all do. The number one thing we have to know and really choose and decide who that is who are we talking to? The first question we have to answer is who is my target audience? Who's my ideal client? And also, who's not my ideal client? Because the content on our websites has two jobs: to attract, to resonate with the people that we want to connect with us and hire us and set up a call to talk with us. The other job it has is to repel the people that we don't want to work with.
Hmm?
People, I do this, I talk about this a lot. There are some people who don't want to repel anyone, to which I reply, we can't help everyone. We don't have that kind of time. Not everybody, I don't want to date everyone. I don't want to have coffee with everyone. I don't want to hang out with everyone. So we pick who, and our content can be that gatekeeper that actually people go, oh my God, I need that. I love her vibe. And, ugh, not for me. Like on my website, for example, I have a quote from my son. He texted me years ago when I was first starting out as a brand coach. I've had a million jobs: website, tech. I worked at NPR's website. Like, I work under the hood and above the hood. And he texted me something. He said, I was telling my buddies about you. And I said, if you ever want your life spanked, stripped naked and spanked into action, call my mother. And I was like, oh my God, honey, you so get me. So I keep that on my website, on my testimonials page, and on my homepage, so that anybody who doesn't like that, who thinks that's weird that a son would say that to his mom, don't call me. That's my gatekeeper. We want to be actively repelling with our words and our energy, frankly, who we don't want to get involved with. Because who's got the time, honestly?
Right.
I believe,
Well, and
marketing our business, and it gets to be fun, right? And if it's no fun to work with somebody, buzz kills.
It's a great point you make, because I have that discussion all the time when we talk about niching or sort of creating a message that's for a specific audience, and people say, well, but gosh, if I say that I help these people, then then I don't know if I'll get these people as clients. And the thing that what I always go back to is, look, the language that you're using, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you meet, let's say, you have, and this is actually the case with somebody that you and I both know. It's an HR person. She works with a variety of small businesses, and she's been just going back and forth about whether she wants to niche down particularly to restaurants, because restaurants are an area that are of great interest to her, and she really wants to provide the service exclusively, or really focus her business on restaurants. And so she and I've had a lot of discussions, and she's so concerned. Oh, but wait a minute, hold on. If I do that, I don't want to, I don't want to, like, not get this business. And the thing that I sort of regularly come back to is, look, it doesn't mean you can't accept the other business. It doesn't mean if you don't want to, if you want to work with this, that you can't. What it means is you're positioning yourself as the best possible solution for restaurants. And then other people can say, they won't necessarily say, oh, she won't work with me. Really, what it means is they might not be quite as perfect. It might not fit you like a glove, but you can still work with anybody that you want. It's just you've created a message that just sings to your target audience.
And I was working with a client yesterday, and one of the concepts that I teach people is like, what are I call them beacon words. Like, one, we're painting a word picture in people's minds so they can see us. They go, oh, I can see how she can help me with this thing. I only do one thing. I help people get clear about what they offer and learn how to say it in one sentence. Like, that's it. And I don't talk about anything else. People who are afraid to, well, I've heard this a lot. I don't want to exclude anybody. One
Mm-hmm.
woman actually said, it will hurt my heart to leave anyone out. And I said, I got it. I understand. We don't, some people, this is all the mental stuff. This is the voice in our head talking to us about what we're allowed to do or not allowed to do. That voice is not connected to us, right? That voice is like, whose voice is it? I don't know. Talk to your therapist about it. The voices aren't going away ever. However, so I take people through this process to actually, because if I see the voices coming up too much, then we have to go meet the voices, become aware of what it is they say, and then there's no shutting it down or managing it. It's just notice, thank you for sharing, bye, I have work to do. So that mental process is, the thoughts, the words that you mentioned that that person was talking about, I hear that all day long. That comes from fear. I won't have
Mm-hmm.
any clients if I don't make myself available for everybody. Like, and
Awesome.
that's like a
So
mental thing.
I completely agree. So Maggie, let's go back. So we said that okay, we're talking about this. We're on a discussion of what do you do first before you start this content. So item number one is we get incredibly clear, crystal clear on who it is that we're talking about. What are the other,
100%.
what else do we need to sort of get crystal clear on before we start writing this content?
So, well, to back up one step, it's like, well, what is it that I offer? What do I
Mm,
offer?
mm-hmm.
Because I'm working with a client who is a tech, she's like a fractional tech consultant. She could do a million things, and getting narrowing the focus of the million things into what her ideal clients need. There's
Right.
this, always think of a Venn diagram. So the first thing is, what do you offer? Clarity about that. Number one, I offer this, because the framework of the one sentence is, I help who? I help entrepreneurs solve a problem, the problem of struggling to say what they do clearly and succinctly, so that they attract the right clients and make the monies, so that they can write their website content and it's not some horrible torture chamber. so that they can market their business and know what to talk about on social media. The so that's so having, if in my world, having that one sentence is the guidepost. I think of it like the bottom of the pyramid. That one sentence holds up your whole business, and that's the foundation for all of your content. So, who, what do I offer? What problem do I solve? What solution do I deliver? Period. Those are the things like we have to know. And that is where the work is, frankly. I call that like the laundry doing, sock folding and putting away of the laundry. It's not sexy at all, but when you take a minute to do that work before we dive into websites, then making the website, writing the content, so much less painful. So it's like, oh, I'm picturing who I'm talking to as I'm writing. It's like a pen pal. It's like, oh, dear Erika, because I know you. Like maybe you're my ideal client, and I'm writing directly to you. Do you ever know how? Do you know how hard it is to sit down in front of a introduce yourself at a networking event? Do you wish like, oh my God, when the mic is coming to you, you don't want to say anything? Hi, I'm Erika. I help people something something so that they end up with the result they want. That's the framework. It's very simple. That one sentence to me is the whole shebang. That's the heart of all your content.
So I think we skipped over. We started with a really long deep dive on the question of um, who do I serve,
Yeah.
and then we sort of bunched together, what do I offer, what problem do I solve, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
third one, and we kind of bunched it together. Do we need to put some more words into sort of what I mean? Obviously, what do I offer, and what problem do I solve? It feels a little bit like two sides of the same coin. Is that a fair?
It's
It's the
connected.
side, it's
It's a
connected,
connected coin.
and
So,
you can decide what you offer, but what people are buying, of course, is
yes,
what problem you solve.
what they're buying is the solution you deliver.
Mm-hmm.
That make
Exactly.
this It's the part. So the framework is, I'm Maggie. I'm a brand messaging coach. I help entrepreneurs and small businesses learn how to communicate clearly and concisely about what they do, so that that is the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only, if you don't say the so that, it's like if I just tell you what I do, like I call that the so what. Like, oh, nice for you, Maggie, that you do that. That's awesome that you're a thing. Bye, I'm going to go freshen my drink. I do this so that you, dear client, get this result. And I use their words whenever
That's
in their
awesome.
content. But do you
Yep.
see that? Is that framework clear?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just want to make sure that we've made it as clear as possible
Thank you. Yeah,
to
because
the video, to the many, many, many people who are going to watch this video. And I, by the way, through this video, have come up with my one sentence, which is definitely going to be Spring Insight. We help you create websites that are not torture chambers,
so
because
that,
so
so
that
that, so that,
so there you go, so that people
so
who
that.
visit can find the information that they want clearly and
Okay,
act upon it to hire you. Perfect.
that's the thing.
Well,
And Erica, because did you see what just happened there? I just gave you a
mm,
little coaching because you told me what you do. That so that is like, so that is what, that's what I really want. I want people to be able to easily find what they came for on my website and do what they came to do, which is book a call with me. That's my call to
awesome.
action that I want them to do. So that's so that. Without the so that, you're just being like, well, here's me, bye. It's
That's
not about
perfect.
us. We're
No,
always writing
no,
our
it is.
content. Our content is about them. How I serve you, how I serve you. Here's how I serve you. Here's how I'm of service to you. Here's why I do this.
That's amazing. Well,
That's
Maggie,
how
thank
I
you.
teach it.
That's amazing. Thank you. This has been so edifying. I think we've gotten through some really some important discussions here. So I'm so appreciative of your time, Maggie.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Erica.
Absolutely. So to everybody who is watching, thank you so much for giving us some of your time to learn more about how you too can have the so that convinces everybody to engage completely with the work that you're doing and the work that you provide to the world. Um, I hope that if you enjoy this, you will like and you will subscribe to our channel. We put out videos every single Tuesday. And if you are interested in Maggie's services, Maggie, can you tell everybody your website URL where they can find your son's quote?
It's MaggySterner.com, my name. Either way you spell it, you'll find me because I have a redirect to when people spell it incorrectly. Um, Go to my website contact page. If we could put the link in the description box below,
Mhm.
Erica, that would be
Of course.
great. And I also have a free worksheet because I realize it is a mental process that takes you step by step to know actually choose and understand what you need to know so that you can write your content. I call it one sentence messaging. There'll be a link to that in the description below.
Awesome. And if you're interested in working with Spring Insight on creating the website that has all of this messaging on it, I'd love to hear from you. You can go to our website, springinsight.com, springinsight.com. And of course, that will also be in the video description. And from there, you can sign up for a website audit where we'll schedule time and chat about ways that you can improve. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Erica.